Everybody, and welcome back. Old guy here. So I decided that I'm missing sandwiches that I used to get all the time from Schlotzsky's. I don't know how many of you out there have had Schlotzsky's. Raise your hand. Let's see hands if you've had Schlotzsky. Okay. Started in Austin, Texas, back in the 70s. Great place to eat if you've never had a Schlotzsky's. Unfortunately, there's none of them that are anywhere near us, and I miss them, so I decided that I'm going to make a copycat version.
Copycat?
And so let's get started. I did a little research online, looked at a few different copycat recipes, and so I'm going to rock with the most consistent of them. Some of them are vary a little bit, so I'm going to go with the most consistent one that I've seen. And we're going to start here. Come on down, Mrs. Old Guy. A little sourdough starter that I got going last night. It really needs to sit for 12, 14, 16 hours. Just a cup of water, a little bit of sugar, and some yeast, and a small amount of flour. Okay, because that's one thing that Schlotzsky's was known for, was their delicious sourdough bread. And so we're going to get that started. I'm going to pour that into my mixer bowl here. And to that, I've got some sugar, some flour, and some sugar, some salt, and a little bit of baking soda. Add that in. And whoops, what did I do with my milk? I got to get my milk, and I'll be right back. I actually have the milk warm and ready to go now. So I'm going to pour that in. And I'm going to add 2 more cups of flour. Easy enough. And I'm not going to worry about putting on a dough peg. I just need to mix this. So, there it goes. We're going to mix this. And while this is mixing, I'm going to get my forms ready for the sandwiches. Okay, we'll be back. So now the next part, we got to get these into some little forms here. These are English muffin forms that I just picked up at a local bake shop. And you can see that this is a really soft dough, and that's okay. We're just going to spoon these in, and I'm just going to divide it up between the 8. So when I get that done, we'll be back. So we got it into our forms. Mrs. Old Guy, come on down. I want to make sure that I point out that you get these, if you're going to use these forms, make sure you oil them down real good. In this case, I used a little coconut oil spray. And now all I got to do is just let it sit there. It's got to rise for a while. It'll level out by itself. It'll raise up just fine. The only thing I'm going to suggest is that you have yourself a squirt bottle with a little water so that you can mist the tops so they don't dry out too much. It's not really practical to try and cover this. I've done it before. Because the dough is so soft, any plastic wrap or anything that you put over the top, it's just going to stick to it. So leave it open and just every now and then mist it lightly, and I'll show you that here in a minute. You can see it's been starting to raise a little bit. It's been probably, I don't know, maybe 20 minutes or so. Starting to get just a little bit dry looking on the top. So I'm just going to take my spray bottle here and just moisten them up. And that's it. We'll be back when I put them in the oven. So the bread is ready to go in the oven, and we're just about done with this segment of the Copycat video here. So, alright, as you can see that they've come up, they're just cresting the top of my form here a little bit. That's what we want. And now this isn't a standard size, by the way, for a Schlotzsky sandwich. They were much bigger. But for portion control and something a little more size that I can eat is why I use the muffin tins. But you can use a 9-inch cake pan. a couple of them would probably work if you want to make a big sandwich. So we're going to be back in about 15-20 minutes when we pull this bread out. Oh, there's that beep. Let's pull this bread out of the oven. Oh yeah, look at that. Come on over, Mrs. Old Guy. Let's let them take a quick look. And so the first thing I got to do real quick, like, is just pop these rings off. Stuck a little bit on the bottom. Nope. Got to pop these rings off and let these cool down completely before I use them for any kind of sandwich. And that's it. We're done with this part of the Copycat video. And so that's it for the bread. If you want to just use that for sandwiches, it works great. Obviously for sandwiches. And next day I've used them, and they have a lot of the same texture and sort of flavor as a English muffin too. So they work good for breakfast. We'll see you next time. Thanks for watching, and tune in for the next part of this. Bye now.